What is going on, everyone? Todd here, joined once again by DorkyRae. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Yeah, we gave Balen the night off. Balen's been
Balen has the ick.
Balen's been dealing with the flu, and he said it should be, earlier today. He's like, I think I'm good enough to record tonight, and I was just like, dude, feel better.
Yeah. Like, no.
Yeah, I mean that's
No.
really what it came down to, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. I didn't want to be the guy that's like, hey man, I understand that you have you have a case of the death, but we got a cast to record.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't want to be that
Todd's a
asshole.
total slave driver.
If anything, I'm a like fucking slave driver for myself. Jesus.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, chill, my dude.
I mean, I have to keep myself busy, or else I'll go fucking crazy.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, that's legit what it comes down to. Because if I just let myself stagnate per se
Mm.
and don't have something that I'm working on or whatnot, I don't know. Like I'm just like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like today, I mean, I'll get into a little bit of you know, so Balen has the flu. That sucks.
Indeed.
For the last few days, I'm not sure if I've talked about it on this podcast because I do so many. I know I've talked to you and Ballin about it. So I have a issue with stress and anxiety. So that stress and anxiety kind of manifests itself as physical pain across my ribs, my lower ribs, from the left side of my rib cage to the right side, like straight across, like a band of pain. If it was one side, then I would have to worry about, is this not working right, or do I have, stones of some sort or another? And it's not that. It's stress related. It's anxiety related. So the last few days, I've been laid up. I've been laying in bed, trying to get as much sleep as I can, because I'll get like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I'll wake up in excruciating pain, and it'll continue for a while. I'll do my breathing exercises and all the other stuff. It's you know, have you ever gotten like gas trapped under your ribs?
I don't know. I've had like random where it feels like I'm getting stabbed between my ribs. I don't know if that's
So, okay, so you kind of have a frame of reference. You
Yeah.
kind of have a frame of reference. So, imagine that, except
made myself cough just thinking about it.
imagine that, right? And you've only had it on one side, right?
Um, at a time.
Okay. So, just imagine that pain in stereo.
Ugh. Ugh.
And it's not just like on the sides, but it kind of wraps around the front and meets in the middle. And it just feels like you're being like, honestly, it feels like you're being stabbed in multiple places at the same time along that band. It is fucking horrible. So
Yeah, that does not sound fun.
if I was gonna say, if you've ever had like gas trapped under the ribs, for example, it's a similar pain.
Uh-huh.
but it's not as sharp. You know, you'll get a lot of discomfort, you'll get bloating, that kind of stuff, but it's not the same level of pain that I've been experiencing. Because
Right.
I've had it where like I'll have like indigestion, that kind of stuff, and I'll get like the dull pain under my ribs from just like from excess gas, you know, and
Okay.
this is a whole nother hell. So yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with that, and that's not fun. So like all weekend I was laid up, and did my first stream back. Well, actually, yeah, I planned on doing one yesterday because I was like, oh, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a bit better. And you know, I sat down and me, Jesse, and Sinea were doing some Overwatch. Before I was like, oh, I'll go start a stream. And yeah, that one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I'm just like, well, it was like noon my time. We're like, all right, well, Jesse's just like, oh, I'm probably gonna take a nap. I'm like, a nap sounds good, but I'll probably do a stream. And he goes, all right, and Sinea's just like, well, it's, I gotta do, well, no, was it noon my time or noon West Coast? I don't know, one of the two. But all I know is it was just like, oh, well, you should probably make food. And it's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So like stopped, I made food, and then kind of getting set up, and all of a sudden the pain just kind of hit me all at once, and I'm like, yep, nope, not happening.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, it could be worse. It's how you know you're alive. The second I don't feel the pain, I'm gonna start questioning whether I'm alive or not. Like, did something happen because I'm not in pain? But yeah, no, I mean, besides that, I mean, today I did a few streams. Like I did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say a few streams, but it was, I went for something like 7 hours or something like that. And I did some Overwatch because they got a PvE event going on right now. Also, the loot boxes. In arcade mode, if you haven't played a certain mode, you get a loot box on your first win. So, I mean, like on the PvE stuff, I did all that last week, so it's not like, oh, hey, get your first completion, you get another box. But when you get 9 wins in arcade, well, when you get 3 wins in arcade, you get a loot box. And it tops out at 3 loot boxes. I mean, on top of like when you level, you get a loot box. So it's like, okay, well, that's not too bad. So I mean, I did that. I got my 3 boxes. I got absolutely dog shit, that's just the way it is. I mean, I lucked out hard on the first couple I got, so we're just like, oh hey, you got the Blackwatch Moira skin. Oh hey, you got the Soldier 24 Reaper skin. Oh hey, you got this skin, and I'm just like, yes. Like, I'm doing so well. And then it's just like, and now you get just sprays. And I'm like, well, fuck. So.
Well, GG.
Yep. Winky face. But yeah. So, I mean, I guess that should kind of lead us into, like, since the last time, have you played anything?
No, I don't think so.
Fair.
I don't think I've actually had the opportunity to play.
Sit down and play anything, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I've been playing pretty much just because I haven't been streaming. I've been playing Marvel Strike Force.
Okay.
Which is a mobile game. Considering I've been stuck in bed, I mean, it's like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
So I've been playing this mobile game. I'm level 40. Like
Nice.
so one of the good brothers over at Brothering Around, Marco. Marco has on his YouTube channel, he does intro to mobile games. It's actually a really cool series. So if you're looking at like, well, what kind of mobile game should I play? I mean, it's a great series. I believe the channel should just be able to find it from checking out Nerd in the Bay. One
Okay.
word.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, yes. So he did one on Marvel Strike Force. That was like 2 weeks ago. And
Uh-huh.
I've been playing this game almost every day for the last 2 weeks.
Sounds like me and Emoji Blitz. That's like the only mobile game that I play anymore is Disney's Emoji Blitz.
So,
I don't even use the Disney emojis that you win. I just play the game.
so with, I'm gonna fucking load up this goddamn game. So the art style
Uh-huh.
very much looks like Marvel Heroes.
Oh, okay.
So I was taken back by that. You don't unlock new costumes or anything like that. It's your typical free to play mobile game where you have to,
Uh-huh.
like I have like another hour, 18 minutes before objectives reset, and then I can start grinding those again. That takes me
Okay.
all of maybe 15 minutes to do.
Okay.
And then it's just like, oh, well, now I just got to wait for, whatever the timer says,
Uh-huh.
which usually it's like a 12-hour timer for a campaign energy refill,
Okay.
which is, it's a bonus 80 campaign energy on top of what you already have. So,
Okay.
which isn't bad. But like my crew, like you have, of course, you have the Marvel characters. You have some of them. Obviously, you don't have everybody. You're not going to see the Fantastic Four, for example. But
Darn. No fan four stick.
no Fan Four stick. But like my current squad is Wolverine, which you had to complete all the objectives for like 7 days to get enough of these character shards to unlock him.
Okay.
So I got him. I have the Punisher. I have Quake. I have Crossbones and Daredevil. So that's the crew I run with.
Uh-huh.
For like a couple of the game modes. So if it's like Blitz, where it's kind of like a PvP type thing, they have a few of those. They have that. They have Arena. It's fucking weird. But then when it comes to campaign, they have Hero Campaign, Villain Campaign,
Okay.
Nexus, Mystic Campaign, which requires you to have a certain amount of Mystic-based heroes. And then there's a Cosmic one as well.
Okay.
Which, I'm not high enough level to unlock the Cosmic one. I don't have
Not
enough
pizzas.
I don't have enough Mystic heroes to unlock the Mystic campaign. But I do have enough to unlock the Villain campaign, the Nexus, and of course the Hero campaign they kind of start you out with.
Right.
So Hero campaign, Wolverine, Punisher, Quake, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. That's who I typically run.
Okay.
Until I unlock and level up other people. Quake's actually a new addition because
nice.
I unlocked her and I was like, all right, she's at level 1. How much resources do I have and how quickly can I get her up to 40?
Nice.
And then I got her up to 40 and I'm like, okay, this is kind of bullshit because she's way underpowered for being level 40. Because I'm like,
that's unfortunate.
I'm like, my Wolverine is 35-39. My Punisher is 34-65. My level 40 Quake was 15-42. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And then I forgot, like, oh, I have to equip gear. And then when you fill in all the gear slots, it says upgrade hero. So you hit that, and then you have to do the gear thing all over again. But each time you do it, it's just like, yeah, that basic bitch gear ain't gonna work anymore. You have to craft better gear. So it gets you to do the campaigns to unlock the parts you need to craft the stuff.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. So now she is a tier 6, sitting at 3382.
Okay.
Punisher's tier 6, and Wolverine's a tier 6. But like, I think they're the only, those are the only tier 6 heroes I have. Everybody else is like tier 5. I mean, tier 5 or tier 4. So I mean, I also got, like, as I said, I got Spider-Man, but I also got like Elektra. And I mean, those are like the Marvel like hero-esque characters that I have. And then I have like Shield Medic, and Sorcerer, Ravager Boomer, Shield Trooper, Mercenary Soldier, Mercenary Riot Guard, Hydra Sniper, Hydra Scientist, and Shield what is this? Shield Operative.
Okay.
I mean, put it in perspective. My Shield Operative is tier 2.
Okay.
Level 20.
Oh wow.
They have 3 pieces of gear. Their combat efficiency is 318.
Okay.
It is outrageous. Like, and then like some of them I haven't like upgraded. So it's like, all right, well, whatever. But like my Hydra Sniper, he's a tier 3, level 14, 348. So I mean, like, I gotta kind of gear these guys up, and it sucks so much. Fucking hate it. God damn it, Marco. God damn it. But other than that, I've been playing Overwatch, as I mentioned. Actually uploaded a new highlight onto my personal YouTube channel.
Okay.
Basically, whenever I get like play of the game, and it's something I'm just like, I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
In game, you can actually save the highlights,
Right.
and then from there, I can just be like, oh, okay, well, now I'll go to the YouTube page, my YouTube, and I'll just upload it. So I've been doing that. So I have like 4 of them now, like 3 or 4 of them. And it's like 2, actually, no, I have 4 of them. 2 of them are Diva, play of the games. One of them was killing 5 on the point with my self-destruct. And then one of them was killing an entire team as they approached with my self-destruct. They were trying to come up the sides of things, and it like kind of funnels in the Blizzard World map. And I just kind of hit my jets and popped my ult, and a thing just fucking zoomed out. They came up the steps and it went off, and it was just like team kill. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, if I don't get to play the game for this shit, I'm gonna be pissed.
Right. I've never gotten play of the game, but I also haven't played like probably enough.
And then the other 2 highlights are from free-for-alls. So it's like, it's an basic, it's saying 1v1 is wrong, but basically it's a death match. Every character for themselves.
Okay.
And I've been playing, like, both of my plays of the game came from Moira.
Nice.
Who is a DPS healer. Like,
does
that make any... Like, I understand. Like, it's one of those things. Like, you want a character that's... Blizzard kind of knows what they're doing when it comes to their characters. And I say kind of because some of the shit they do doesn't make sense. But in a game, in a hero shooter, which is what Overwatch is.
Right.
What is the incentive to play a support role?
Like, literally nothing.
Right?
You get yelled at.
So
if you're into that, I mean...
Well, it depends on how you play the support role. So um, the old support role was Mercy, and Mercy's still very. I don't want to say viable, um, because I mean in free for all I have not run into a single player playing Mercy in free for all.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Her entire ability set is based on buffing and healing.
Right.
She does have a pistol she can use. But other than that, I mean, she's there to make other people stronger.
Uh-huh.
And get all the assists because she's
Right.
just standing there behind the bastion, buffing the shit out of them.
I mean,
arguably that's what I did in one of the matches I played today.
it's a legitimate strategy.
It is. But then the game was just like, if you remain idle, and I'm like, motherfucker, I am not idle.
It's like you're doing stuff, you're just not moving.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for me to move. So then I started moving around, and I stopped buffing him for a second to go and pull out my pistol. I fired 3 shots, and I went back to buffing.
Nice.
But
I thought you were gonna say you went off, you did 3 shots, and then Bastion died.
So,
because that would have been the luck.
Yeah, no, because I didn't go that far. I didn't go that far. It was just like Bastion was in turret mode, so he was set where he's at.
Oh yeah, that's how I always play Bastion, is I turret mode all the way.
Yeah, I mean it's annoying to deal with, legit. But Mercy, as a free for all hero, is just not viable. I mean, right. The pistol doesn't do much power, doesn't do much damage. And as I said, she's meant for healing. If you want a character that can fly in free for all, go with Pharah. Pharah with her rockets that can blow herself up, because I learned that as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's another one that I was not there for. Last time that was not there the last time I played.
So I mean, that's I want to say Pharah. Pharah might have been one of the original heroes. She's
What?
Yeah.
Then I don't know. Maybe she was, and she just didn't make an impression on me. I don't know.
This is what
I didn't really have people to play with, so
well,
I just kind of that's my problem. Is if I don't have someone to play with, I stop playing.
And that's understandable. I know in my case, I ended up getting the game, and I wanted to, I started playing it and such, and I'm like, all right, well, this isn't bad. Which was weird because I'm like, this is not my type of game.
Right.
Why is
we've heard you bemoan your like for this game.
And it's just like, why why do I like this? And so it's one of those things. But yeah, it's one of those situations where, all right, well, whatevs. Trying to see what. Oh, thank you, Google Chrome, for saying fuck you to me.
Oh no.
Yeah, Google Chrome's just like, we're done with your shit. All right, fine, fuck you then. I was looking up something.
I'm gonna go use Bing now. No, please don't.
Well, I'll have that. I you know what? It wouldn't even be like, oh, I'm using Bing. It'd be like, oh, I'm using. I would have to use Firefox.
Yeah.
To use Firefox now. Fuck you, Chrome. But yeah, really, you. If you saw the hero, you'd probably be like, okay, I kind of remember her.
Probably. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not play as her.
Yeah, so I mean, like her and Mercy together are a great team.
Mm-hmm.
They're both aerial, which is good. She
Right.
fires rockets, and Mercy's there to kind of buff those rockets. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so I mean, that's kind of cool. But yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
play like a flying character, Pharah's like kind of where you want to be. I mean, not an no character in Overwatch is an easy character to play. Some
Right.
are easier than others, but no character is easy. So whether it's you just find the one that you like.
Yep.
But that being
Give me
said,
May all day.
like you have in free for all, you run into more support heroes now
Oh,
than
really?
previous. So the support heroes, you have Ana,
Mm-hmm.
who's a support, but she's a sniper as well.
Yeah, she's like the only support I would ever play because we know how I am about sniping.
Yeah. So I mean, you have her. You have Lucio who boops people with his little fucking boop gun.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got offensive capability.
Mm-hmm.
Ana's got offensive capability. You have Symmetra, and I may go back through the VOD just so I can highlight it.
Mm-hmm.
But in one of the free for all maps, somebody was playing as Symmetra, and you think like people go, well, Symmetra is, usually people that are trying to play it cheap play Symmetra. I mean,
Okay.
you'll hear this a lot, and it's a shady thing to say about things, but I ran into one of those players that's how they played. Like they found one of the spawn locations and set up all their hard light turrets. So whenever somebody died and they spawned there, they automatically got an additional kill.
Huh.
And I must have spawned there like 3 times in a row. And I'm like,
Wow.
are you fucking kidding me? Like somebody spawned next to me and we're both getting bombarded by these hard light turrets. It's like, I mean, I understand there's a strategy and it's a scumbag way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a scumbag way to do it. Like,
Yeah.
there's ways to. Symmetra's not very offensive.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her hard light gun, which no aim required. I mean, there's that. Which I'm not going to argue about because I play Moira. Moira's no aim required either. But, I mean, you got her, and then you have her fucking turrets. And her turrets are, like, the bane of my existence.
Mm-hmm.
Because of people like I played with today.
Right.
That do that shit. Zenyatta throws his balls at people. So, I mean, he's another support.
Right.
Moira also throws her balls at people. Now, one of her abilities is she holds 2 orbs and she can either throw, if you left click, she'll throw out a healing orb. You right click and she'll throw out the damage orb. So it does like a DOT, like as it passes, it kind of latches on to whoever's there as it's moving by. So once it moves far enough away, it does break contact. But it bounces around and shit. And yeah, I mean, they made Moira very viable compared to a Mercy. And now, and of course, I'm leaving out the newest support hero, the newest hero in the game, Brigitte, or Brigitte, who she's got a little shield, kind of like she's got a smaller version of like Reinhardt's shield, which is kind of cool, and she has a rocket flail. and she throws out armor, like Torb does, except for the armor's temporary. And her ultimate, as she does more damage, her allies in range of her get additional armor that's permanent. So, I mean, it's really nice. It's very cool support here, and Bungie finally got it right. Like, this is how you get people to play as support. Because I'm running into more Brigittes than any other hero. Well, I mean, not every other hero, but when it comes to supports.
Right.
I run to that character more often than not. If I'm playing a match and there's not one there, then I'm surprised. But there's 27 heroes. I mean, there's 8 offense, 6 defense, 6 tanks, and 7 supports.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're getting more heroes. I mean, that's a thing. There's a hero in there for your playstyle. That's really what it comes down to. And Bungie, fucking Bungie, wow. That's a whole different conversation I had earlier. Blizzard has openly said, we've heard the fans. We see how popular our PvE stuff is. And we understand you guys want more lore. We're listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe, we're going to be getting more PvE events, which I'm thankful for. Because I like doing PvE. I'd much rather do PvE.
Right.
I do find myself doing, like, quote-unquote competitive. Like, I don't do ranked. I'm not high enough to want to get into it anyway. But even after the fact, I'm just like, maybe I'll do, like, a couple rounds of ranked. I don't know. And just die horribly. But, I mean, it's just... yeah, I don't know. Other than Overwatch. I was playing Hunter the Reckoning today.
Okay. Yeah.
Hunter the Reckoning, it is a kind of like a it's saying it's a 3/4 view. It's kind of a 3/4 view down. 4-player game. You know, your story involves 4 hunters who a year ago were there for an execution as witnesses, you know. And when the execution happened, they were imbued, which allowed them, that's what made them hunters. Being imbued is essentially like having your reality completely ripped away from you, like right in front of your eyes. So, like, have you ever seen the movie They Live?
No.
No. Need to correct that. In the movie They Live, the main character, John Nada, finds a pair of sunglasses. He puts them on, and when he puts them on, he realizes that not everything is what it seems. You know, he puts on the sunglasses, and he looks around, and there's like, oh, well, that's the guy I work with, and that's this person. What in the fuck is this ugly, hideous thing? And basically, you know, the whole story involves, nobody knows when it actually started, but aliens came down. They infiltrated our society and started grooming the planet for themselves to use it as a natural resource. So they want to kind of keep like the poor and like the well-to-do humans know about the aliens. So there's like a whole resistance thing and whatnot. But it'd be like you going into like a Walmart, right? And you put on a pair of sunglasses and you realize that half of the people there are like lizard people. You know? And you're just like, what in the fuck? Like, you legit put on glasses and you look and you go, oh, there's my mom. There's my dad. There's this person. Here's the cashier. And you turn around and then there's like a 6-foot tall lizard standing behind you. You take the glasses off and it's a human, a 6-foot tall person standing behind you. Put them back on, fucking lizard. And you're like, what the fuck? So basically being imbued, your reality is kind of shattered. You see the world as it actually is. None of the subterfuge or anything like that the supernatural imply. So you see zombies for what they are. You see vampires for what they are. You see all manner of ghastly creatures for what they are. So everybody else, I mean, werewolf attacks are written off as dog attacks, vampire attacks as gang violence, things like that. It's interesting. But playing this on the Xbox One, because it just hit backwards compatibility, it plays so fucking well. I mean, the game was released in 2002 through 2003, I think. I want to say it was 2003. It was originally released on the Nintendo GameCube and the original Xbox. It had backwards compatibility on the Xbox 360. And it just didn't do it well. The load times were abysmal, and I can go on and on about how kind of shit it was. But the Xbox One version, I mean, I put that in, and Ian, you know Vaughn, right?
Yeah, Vaughn Aether?
Yes. So Ian comes in my chat, and he's just like, wow, he goes, this looks really good. They did a great job. And I'm like, yes, they did. And I'm like, and my big complaint about the old backwards compatible version on the 360 was the load times. Because legit, I could hit a load screen and be like, all right, guys, we're at a load screen. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Go make myself a sandwich, come back, eat the sandwich, and then the load screen would be over. I'm not exaggerating. It was like a 4-minute load screen.
Oh, wow.
It was poor emulation, of the original Xbox hardware, basically.
Uh-huh.
With the Xbox One, I mean, I hit a load screen, 2 seconds.
Nice.
2-second load screen, and I'm just like, first time I did it, I was like, what in the fuck is this wizardry? It was like I was watching crafting. But yeah, I mean, I was playing that up until just about 10 o'clock my time, which is usually when we get together and we start recording. So, I mean, there's that.
Nice.
But yeah, and then I had a discussion about Bungie and their lore over at Stotch's channel, because he's playing Destiny. And,
okay.
He's playing Destiny 2, and we're kind of talking about it, and I'm like, hey, you enjoy the game, you enjoy the game. Right. I'm not here to shit on the fact that you enjoy a game, or shit on a game you enjoy. I mean, I know people that love games I fucking hate.
Right.
And
I mean, they keep making E3 games. Or not E3, EA Sports games. There we go.
The annual $60 roster update, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people have to be playing them.
Yeah. And I mean, at the same time, I know I play games that people are just like, what the fuck you playing that?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of fucking game are you playing? And I mean, thing is, if you enjoy the game, you enjoy the game.
Oh, definitely.
It's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's why, and I know I've had problems in my Discord of people kind of shitting on games, like, massively.
Oh, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Let people enjoy the games that they want to enjoy.
Yeah. No, and I completely agree with you. And I kind of, I kind of became like Mr. Asshole to them based on and it's just like, I don't understand why you're saying I shit on on every game somebody brings up, and I'm like,
Because you do.
yeah, and I'm
Exhibit
like, you
A,
do.
B, C, D.
Yeah, and I legit went through that, and I was just like, this is why this is. Like,
Uh-huh.
I had people legitimately ask me like, "Hey, this really isn't cool. Like, what?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Let me check it out." And I see what it is, and I'm like, "All right, well, I'll take care of it." And at first, it was just like, "Oh, hey, listen, just kind of be careful, that kind of thing." And then it gets to a point where it's like, I'm fucking sick of hearing it from
Right.
both sides. I'm
Yeah.
sick of hearing it from the people saying like, I'm tired of this asshole bad mouthing games I like and basically saying I'm wrong for liking this game. Um Meanwhile, I'm tired of reading him basically bash games just because. Because
Right.
he's just like, oh, well, the way DLC works nowadays and blah, 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 and loot boxes. And it's like, come on, guy. I remember when you can go and get an expansion on disc. Yeah. I
That's
remember
great
back
for you.
I remember back before there were expansions on disc. I remember back when a game was done, a game was done. There was no patches, no nothing. When the game shipped, whatever state it shipped in, that's what you got. And that's really what it
Yeah.
was. And I went to a whole thing. It's just like, he started trying to, oh, well, they never used to do this back with expansion packs. I'm like, expansion packs were basically DLC.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, actually, by definition, it's the same thing. The only difference is the medium in which the add-on content is transferred.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, there's even, you look at a game like Destiny. Do they call their add-ons DLC? No. Does the fan base do? Yeah. They call it expansions. So
Ah.
you get the expansion pack,
Yeah.
of like a trial.
The expansion pack DLC.
Well, and
I just
it's
combined them all. There you go.
it's honestly it's legitimately the same thing.
Yeah.
It's um expansion. An expansion is content used to expand the game, whether it's maps, levels, weapons, skins, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, they never used to take advantage of us. And I pulled up one, and I'm like, really? Because here's an expansion pack, which, let me go in the Wayback Machine, back at this time was selling for $50, which included 14 new weapons. That's it.
Woof.
Oh, it
Wow.
was 14 new weapons and a map.
Wow.
And that was your expansion.
Ugh.
So if you want to go and start coming at me about $5 horse armor, that was actually made your horse even more vulnerable in Oblivion, but whatever. Which I never understood. That's a whole different animal. But you want to come at me about that, or you want to come at me about like, oh well, for example, Mass Effect Andromeda's got loot boxes, and that's just ruining the industry. Do you realize that Mass Effect 3 had loot boxes too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, legitimately did. I mean, the same multiplayer component that Mass Effect Andromeda has, in the sense of unlocking things, is the same way
Uh-huh.
it was in Mass Effect 3.
Nice.
People didn't bitch about it when it was Mass Effect 3, but they're bitching about it now because of the whole Battlefront debacle that happened.
Ah.
Oh, loot boxes are evil, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I get you. I understand. They're not for everybody. A game like Overwatch, I kind of wish that I could just get the skins I wanted. But I can't. I have to either A, spend money to get boxes that can get me those things, or I play the fucking game. Every time I level up, I get a box. When I do every week, I can get 3 boxes from the arcade on top of whatever I get from leveling. So even if I just did the arcade and I did I got the 9 wins to get the 3 boxes, right? I'm getting maybe, let's just say hypothetically, maybe like a level and a half. So I'm getting 4 boxes. There's 4 opportunities to get what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. And that's if I play the bare minimum. You know? For example, if I'm playing with Jesse and Sinea, and we're just kind of having fun and goofing off and stuff, I mean, we'll just continue playing. And it's like, oh, hey, that was 5 hours we just played. So, and it's like, oh, well, I went up like 3 levels, you know? And that's just the way it is. It's like, oh, hey, I have 3 loot boxes. Let me open them up. Oh, hey, I got dog shit. Oh, hey, I got a box full of sprays. Oh, hey, I got 1 voice line, a skin I'll never use, and 2 player icons. Yay. Like, just the way it is. But I mean, it's totally not fucking cool to bash somebody else's game.
Yeah, no.
You know?
It's really not.
And I have a feeling that people are going to start saying that about Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because of the reveal that just went down.
Did I miss something?
Mm-hmm.
No, what have I missed? Hold on. Kingdom Hearts 3 news.
They announced mini games that are done up in a Game & Watch style. So, like, do you remember the old Tiger handhelds?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so those are your mini games now. And it's Sora playing these.
Okay.
They haven't said if it's required to play them to get through story or what kind of bonuses you get for doing it. But it's in there. And if it's a mini game, there's something tied to it.
Yeah.
There has to be.
I mean, at the very least, you'll probably need to do it for 100%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which means you'll probably have to collect all of the, whether it's cartridges or devices or whatever.
Yeah.
And then play them at least once. So. Oh, that's a way for them.
I'm watching this trailer.
That's the way that they can inflate the game time of it.
So, who cares? I don't care.
This is what they wanted to do. They wanted to sell you a mobile game, so they did it in your full release. Like,
I will play it. I don't even care.
Well,
if it's part of the game, I'm gonna play it.
Well, Squeenix will just have, what they'll do is they'll see how people are playing it, and then they'll just start releasing DLC that's more of these little mobile games.
All right, fine. Give me more Kingdom Hearts. I legit like.
See, but the thing is, it's like, yeah. And I chose this example specifically because I knew that's the kind of reaction I would elicit from you.
Okay, but yeah, I mean that's kind of obvious. I like anything. I'm okay with just about anything. I will deal with.
But that's the thing. Like, you're a fan of the franchise. You're a fan of the games.
Yeah.
They're throwing this in there. People are gonna start bitching and complaining about it. Meanwhile, you're just like, I'm fine. This is cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're gonna
This is fine.
Yeah.
As the flames go up.
This is fine. Everything's fine. Meanwhile, there's gonna be people that are like, oh well, this is fucking bullshit. Why are they doing this? And
I mean, it's a really good thing that I'm not like actually into Reddit or forums or anything like that. Because if I was, I would be so miserable.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Personally, I mean, I used to do the message board life. I actually
Uh-huh.
met some decent friends from
Yeah.
message
Oh
boards,
yeah.
and I was on there for God knows how long. I would go to their Christmas party and full nine. They knew I
Uh-huh.
was under 21, but they would still, kind of, up until the time I was 21, they would still find ways to kind of sneak me booze.
Okay.
Um, good folks. Remember a softball game. One of the, I was what, 16, 17 at the time,
Okay.
and we're just sitting there drinking Red Stripe, and somebody came around just like, I brought Jello shots. Who wants it? Who wants some? And I'm just like, and I was just like I didn't even make a comment, and they kind of walk over and they're like, here, have three.
Okay.
And I'm like, all
Okay.
right. And they're like,
I'm not gonna complain.
don't worry, I made them extra boozy. And I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's exactly what I was worried about.
Fast forward several years later, this same person I ran into at a bar gig,
Uh-huh.
which was not part. Bar gig wasn't part of the message board thing, but actually, no, it was part of the message board thing. So it was like all these message board people hanging out at a bar, and we
Uh-huh.
got it was like a $20 open bar for like 3-4 hours. So
Okay.
you can get beer, wine, um, you can open beer and wine bar. Mixed drinks cost extra, and same thing with shots. I know it was beer, mixed drinks were included, but shots were something completely different.
Okay.
So, I'm drinking stuff like that, and she was really drunk. And I sit down, and she just kind of said some very inappropriate things.
Okay.
Very inappropriate things. Kind of let me know some of the things she was kind of into that I was not okay with. So,
Fun.
yeah. I mean, some people enjoy the recreational drugs very much.
Okay. Yeah.
Some people enjoy giving recreational drugs very much.
Okay.
There's a little subset in there that enjoys receiving recreational drugs without their knowledge,
Okay.
regardless if they're recreational or not. Like, I don't know, slipped into a drink.
Welp.
Yeah. I got super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But she was so drunk. It was just like, I was just looking for a place to sit. And she goes, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, it's nice to see you. Oh, and she moves over a little bit. Oh, you can sit down. I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you. Because my knee was really
Yeah.
swollen.
Uh-huh.
And she kind of just leans in and just says, if you want, you can put drugs in my drink. And I just kind of gave her this look like, what? Like, I'm like, no, I think we're good.
Yeah. I'm okay.
I think we're good. And
Wow.
then she asks, are you sure? I go, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yup. So it was a really weird situation. And
Yeah.
that was like right after I turned 21 too. So it was like,
Okay.
well, not right after, but I was
Shortly.
within
Shortly.
that. It was in that 21st year,
Yeah.
you know. Because I mean, I would go out like every weekend almost, and or every other weekend, and just
Uh-huh.
we'd pick up. I'd pick up the Time Out New York magazine, which was free. Go to like the local Italian deli, pick up the Time Out New York, just go through there and plan my weekend. And I'm like, all right, Friday night over here, $20 open bar from 9 until midnight. Saturday over here, this band's playing at this time. However, if I decide not to go to that, I can go here for $20 and it's an open bar from 8 to midnight. And that's how I play my weekends, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then I ended up working all the time, so it kind of cut things short, but whatever. It was a good thing, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. People are weird, man. People are fucking weird.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah. We've just spent an hour just talking about like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even talked about the most important thing that happened this past week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how did your how did the sheep festival go?
Yeah, it went pretty well.
Okay.
It was a pretty decent day. It was kind of misty or rainy a little bit. But we were in a pole barn. So
Well, I mean, you were there, so it had to be rainy.
I'm not rainy though.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so it was nice. It was mostly, fortunately, apparently last year, it was really ridiculously cold.
Mm.
And because it's in a pole barn, there's no heating.
Well, I mean, it's a great advertisement for the wool industry because
oh yeah,
it's like, hey, listen, you're out here in this cold shit. These sheep here, these motherfuckers are warm. We can shear them right now for you.
Yeah, and they do sheep shearings there. Like as you can watch them shear the sheep.
Which one do you like? Do you like that one? That one make a good sweater for you?
Oh yeah.
How about a nice hat or a pair of socks? You like wool socks? It's cold.
Oh. Yeah. Well, it was so surprisingly there actually weren't a lot of people that were selling like actual wool stuff. A lot of it was alpaca.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I had wool. Then there was someone down at the other end of the barn that had wool stuff. But I think a lot of the people had alpaca. The people right next to us had mohair, which is goat.
Okay.
And they had mohair socks, and so it was decently. The temperature was pretty decent in the beginning, but then like later on after lunch, it took a real dive. So I ended up buying myself a pair of mohair socks because my feet were cold.
Nice.
I was just like, hey, my feet are freezing. How much are your socks?
So, quick question.
Yeah.
How busy was your booth?
I was actually really busy. I made 6 sales. Okay. But I handed out a lot of cards.
Nice.
And I did a lot of talking. So especially about the Artisan Guild that I'm part of is putting on a learning event next weekend, actually. And
is this the one that you were talking about that you were really like a couple of weeks ago or maybe a month ago? You're like, this is happening and this is going to be really cool, and you know, and I'm just like, hey, just do what you got to do, like.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I was talking it up, trying to get people to sign up. Turns out that our website went down that weekend, but unfortunately, I don't have anyone signed up for either of my classes, which kind of sucks. But I'm still gonna go and help out with the event and everything.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, people, see, the thing is, right now, people aren't signed up for it. But who knows? Like, they get there and they're like, you know what?
If they'll let them, because technically the cutoff date for signups was Sunday. So I don't know if they'll let people sign up for. Maybe if they're already registered, they can
that's
sign
what
up
I'm
for a
thinking.
new class. But I don't know. They were talking like they weren't gonna allow that because they're like, well, you know, the teachers will have prepared for however many students we tell them, and I'm like, y'all just told me none. If someone wants to sign up for my class, I will have my stuff there.
Yeah, I would bring your
Like,
stuff anyway and be
oh
like,
yeah.
listen, here's the deal. I know you said like signups are kind of cut off. However,
You can sign up for my class if you don't already have a class in that
yeah,
time slot.
yeah. If you don't have a class, just fucking slide over here and I'll show you some. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like doing like felting or?
Yeah, I'm doing a wet felting, or
Mhm.
I was gonna be doing.
I would still fucking do it. Like, I mean, just
Yeah.
bring your shit and be
I'll
like,
see
I'm
yeah,
doing wet
it's like,
felting. I don't give a fuck.
yeah. If no one's signing up for the class, well, I've got 3 hours to make more stock, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's actually a great point. Like, you
Yeah.
you now have 3 hours set aside
Mhm.
to just make shit for your Etsy.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I'm
Don't want
doing
to take my
pouches
class, you
that
motherfuckers.
are like cell phone sized.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a needle felting 3D figures
Oh, very cool.
class.
Very cool.
But I didn't have very good pictures for them, which may have been why people didn't sign up. We didn't have the best advertising this year. This is our first year putting on this event.
Mm.
So hopefully next year we'll have better advertising. I think we only had like a total of 13 people sign up for classes in the first place.
Well, 13 people 13 people in total or 13 people outside of the guild?
In total, but only like 2 of those are guild members, I think.
Okay.
So,
that's still not bad considering.
Right. Yeah, no, it's really not.
I mean,
especially for a first year.
Yeah, I mean,
with poor advertising.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest problem. I mean with anything, you know, I don't care if it's an event like your class artisan guild thing. Forget exactly what it was called.
Yeah, it's a artisan retreat.
Retreat. There we go.
Yeah.
Whether it's the artisan retreat, whether it's you know, an Etsy store.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you have any stock up on your Etsy store?
Not currently. I need to take photos of the stock that I have. Because I do still have some stock left over from the show. So I need to take pictures of it, and I finally started cleaning up my fiber room a bit, so hopefully I can get those pictures soon-ish.
Cool.
I leave tomorrow to do a house sitting gig until Monday. Actually, I wonder if I can take some of my stuff, because the place where I'm house sitting is actually one of the guild members.
Okay.
And I wonder if I can use his stuff to do some photography. He probably wouldn't care.
Yeah, I would just kind of run it past them first and be like, hey, yeah.
Can I use your photo shoot setup? Please. Okay, thanks, bye.
But yeah, I mean, advertising is not the easiest thing to do.
It's really not. It's really, really not.
A lot of times you have to know your audience. A lot of times you, I mean, even if you don't know your audience, you have to figure out what's going to fit.
Right.
So hypothetically, like if, for example, like let's just say you were doing, let's just say we got you to do a, like a comfy corner podcast. Right? You just kind of sit there. I mean, guys, we've kind of sort of discussed this off air already.
Todd wants me to do the thing.
So, but I'm using it as an example.
Right.
So let's just say you did a comfy corner esque podcast. Basically every episode, you figure the way I see it is you could probably with the way you read and the way you used to do it on Twitch, because you would do 4 hours on Twitch, right?
Oh, at least.
Right there,
I think
that's
I've got a couple where I went way too long and killed my voice. I love when just thinking about something makes me cough. Let me see here, because I know I have.
because I know you said you uploaded some of them to your YouTube.
Yeah, I uploaded all the ones that I did on Twitch to my YouTube. So I've got one that's 2.5 hours. I've got one that's that's 2 minutes shy of 3 hours, and then I've got one that's 4 minutes shy of 7 hours.
Yeah.
So
The way
yeah.
the way I see this, right, is one of the cool things is, I mean, we can kind of go through music, right, with through TechnoAxe, because TechnoAxe is who we use for the music here for almost for both of the shows that I'm part of 3 shows, but 2 of the 3 shows that I'm a main chair on.
Right.
We use TechnoAxe because TechnoAxe is fucking amazing and large variety of different types of music and stuff. But we go through that, we choose something out or whatnot, or hell, you even just pick something out that's kind of fitting to what you're going to like. Either something comfortable that you're going to use all the time, or something that's comfortable but fitting to what you're going to read. Right. And then from there, we end up doing. And then this is all hypothetical. This is 100% hypothetical. Then you let's just say you do a 4-hour reading, right? We kind of split it, right? So you do 2 hours, you do a 2-hour block, or however long, how many chapters you can get through in that time. So let's just say you do 5 chapters and it's like, I don't know, an hour 40 on 5 chapters, and then you do another 4 chapters and that's like 2 hours and 10 minutes, hypothetically, because that shit can happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Depends on the book.
Yeah. So I mean, you do that kind of. You do your you do a little lead in, like, thank you very much for checking this out, blah, blah, blah. Today we'll be reading whatever book it is, chapters, and then you just kind of say, like, I don't know, just say you're in the middle of a book, like, we're going to be doing chapters 11 through 16. Because you can kind of gauge how long it's going to take. Somebody that's kind of read, because you're not going to read a book the first time. You're not going to go in blind. I mean, especially
with one exception. I'll be going blind into my Immortal. Beyond what I've already read. I've read.
Well, arguably, the thing is, here's the thing with when it comes to Comfy Corner.
Yeah.
You'd read those books previously.
Most likely.
You had, because you had voices for the characters, and you would do the voices, that kind of stuff, which was cool. It was really awesome, and it really hurt me when, we found out it was against TOS. But
yeah,
it hurt you especially because
it was definitely a huge bummer.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was that.
Oh man, and okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm looking at my YouTube, and I just noticed. So, for Comfy Corner, I read and completed the Tales of Despero. I did book 1 of a series called Dragon Spell. I did book 1 of the Artemis Fowl series, and then I did one episode basically of the Artemis Fowl, the Arctic Incident, the second book, and I only ever got that one, and then that's when I found out that it was against TOS.
Yeah,
and
because you'd been doing it for a few months. That was the other thing. Like, you'd been
Yeah.
doing it for a few months, and like, you had a very and here's the weird fucking part, right?
Mhm.
I just recently found out that there is now an ASMR category on Twitch.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude. I gotta check that out.
The only reason I know about it is because I was watching videos about like some of the shit that's been going on Twitch and whatnot, and they said one of the ASMR streamers on Twitch, and I'm like, Twitch has an ASMR section? What? And lo and behold, they do. They got banned for viewbotting.
Okay.
They didn't get banned for viewbotting their channel. They got banned for viewbotting somebody else's channel because they felt that their friend, they didn't want their friend to be discouraged because they weren't pulling in numbers and stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was a noble reason, but at the same time, you don't fucking viewbot, you know?
Right.
But
so I'm looking at this. That part one.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3,402 views.
Yeah.
That is my biggest. That is my most viewed video on this site.
See, and the thing is like the way I see it, the way I can kind of quote unquote envision it is this. I mean, I know for a fact you miss doing it.
I do. The really nice thing about doing Comfy Corner was that it was an excuse for me to read books.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, I still try to, which is also why I say that I may not do a first read of all of the books for Comfy Corner, because it could just be, I really want to get this book, you know, such and such a book read.
Oh no, absolutely. But
I don't have time to read it outside of Comfy Corner. This is a specified slot of the week, or, you know, however often we do it.
But yeah,
because I will say, you say it's purely hypothetical. It's becoming more. I just have to schedule the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to start working full time again at the pool store.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl that was doing weekends quit last week because she just recently graduated from college with her nursing degree. And she got a nursing job, so, you know, of course she's gonna ditch the pool job. I mean, it doesn't pay anything compared to nursing.
Fair.
So, you know, I don't blame her at all, but it's just kind of like, yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, this is so and so's last. Well, there go my plans.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, like, and the reason why I say it's purely hypothetical is because how long did it take us to get pod errors back up? I mean,
this is true. It took us like a year.
Yeah. So
I really don't want it to take that long.
Yeah. So I mean, like, just thinking about it from that perspective.
Yeah.
But I'll kind of get back to the original point when it comes to advertising.
Anyway, yeah, that was the original.
So if you're doing like Comfy Corner stuff, advertising wise, based on the content you're putting out, what fits would be like Audible.
Yeah.
Audible would be a great fit for that. But I mean, it's not like I mean, it's not like you would have a sponsorship or you know, be cutting ads for, I don't know, let's just say hypothetically like a Hamburger Mary's, you know?
Well, and I will say, so the only problem with Audible is getting that sponsorship, because Audible is about audiobooks. And if I'm reading books, if I'm going to get to that to a book that's on Audible, why
Well,
would they sponsor
So
us?
so here's the thing. Like what I'm saying,
I mean, that is an error in the thinking.
it's not as bad an error in the thinking. Like it's one of those situations of if you really enjoy listening to somebody read to you,
That's true.
you know, obviously I can't read every book out there for you,
Hmm.
but I guarantee they have what you're looking for on Audible. Use, you know, go to audibletrial.com / and then whatever your thing would be, whatever your gimmick would be, and get yourself a free audiobook on us, you know, that kind of thing. And just kind of do it that way. And I mean, that would work. Fucking Brothering Around's got an Audible goddamn thing, you know?
I mean, fair.
So, I mean, it's one of those things. Like I got Loot Crate and I use Loot Crate for, you know, my stream. I use it for the network. I have my own merch shop just for stream, but then I also have one for the podcast network as well, which, I mean, links in the description, guys.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Buy a shirt. Buy a shirt.
I'm actually wearing one of my Loot Crate, well, not Loot Crate, Lootwear shirts right now. I'm wearing the Princess Bride raglan 3/4 sleeve shirt. It's awesome.
I am actually wearing, speaking of Loot Crate and whatnot, I'm actually wearing one of the shirts I got from Loot Crate back, was October 2016. They had a horror crate. Well, it wasn't a horror crate, but the theme was horror. And they had a Walking Dead shirt with Negan on it, with Negan's sluggers, and it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan holding the bat and with the fucking cheesy grin on his face. But I mean, the shirts are, I will legitimately say the shirts are super soft. They fit well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they're great. And of course you get a bunch of other shit too. So, I mean, there's always that.
Right. I don't get the crates, but I get
The Lootwear,
yeah, I get the loot. So I'm subscribed to the Lootwear, the wearables. Occasionally I get the Lootwear for her, and occasionally I get the Lootwear undies.
Okay.
Which are also extremely comfortable and really great to wear when you've got, like, when you're wearing what are these called? Harem pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they've got the lower words are just escaping me today. I can't even.
We're talking about underwear. So
Yeah. I mean, this is fair. But no, I mean, I just wear them as shorts sometimes.
fair.
Like if I need I've got a pair of pants that I absolutely adore, but are ripped. And I mean, yes, I could potentially sew them up and fix them, but that would be work and effort. And
so if you want Rae to not wear ripped comfy pants, commission Rae to fix them.
So see, that's the thing. Like, if I'm making it, and it's like, well, so right now I'm working on a jacket that I don't actually need. I've got like a bajillion jackets and hoodies, and it's coming on summer, so you know I really don't need a fleece lined jacket right now.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm working on instead of my pants that have tears in them. Because it's not, honestly, on repairs, doing repairs for me is just not fun.
I can imagine.
Not as enjoyable as creating something new. Now, like, if someone, you know, if my mom asks me to fix a skirt for her, or my dad asks me to fix pants, I mean, I'll kind of put it off a little bit because they're my parents. And, you know, if there's no rush, then it's like, all right, I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm much more likely to fix their stuff than I am to fix mine. And I'm significantly more likely to make new stuff.
I mean,
But-
that's completely fair. I mean, and we've talked about you possibly like go to a convention and so on and so forth, and having a booth for like cosplay repairs. I mean,
and that's different. That would be
and
completely different. That's something that I would enjoy. That would be helping people out.
See, and that's the thing. Like, people would, based on what you just said, they would construe it as, oh, Rae doesn't like fixing shit, so like, why? And it's just like, no, this is different. Like, costumes are one thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Arguably, every day we leave the house, we're wearing costumes.
Fair.
But, yeah, it's just...
Also, it's not that Rae doesn't like fixing stuff. It's Rae doesn't like fixing their stuff.
Yeah, well, that is very fair. That sounds very, very, very fair. But I mean, it could be worse,
Oh yeah. I even have costumes of my own that need repair that I haven't. I'm just like, I'll just not wear it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But again, it's mine. When it's someone else's, I like helping other people. Like, okay, so at the Sheep Festival, the best part of my day, I made 6 sales, and I actually got decent payout for those 6 sales. It was awesome. But the best part of that day was there was this little girl who was like 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made these earrings that look like sheep. And she came by the booth and asked me, and looked at them and asked me how much they were. And I told her they were $14. She's like, oh, okay. And then 45 minutes later, she came by, looked at them again, and said, and asked, are all of your earrings $14? And I'm like, yeah, they're all 14. She's like, okay. And then she walked off again.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came back a third time, and she was talking to, I'm assuming it was her grandmother. And she was, showing her the earrings, and the grandma was kind of like, oh yeah, those are nice, those are pretty. Kind of the, yes, they're lovely, I'm not going to get them for you.
Yeah.
Type
those are nice, but I mean,
yeah,
not today.
And so I waved her over, and I was like, hey, you've been here 3 times. Pick out a pair of earrings. They're yours.
See, and
I just gave them to her. And oh my gosh, it was like the best thing ever. She was like, really? And she just about started crying. She came up, she gave me like the biggest hug. And I was like, yeah, it's like, you know what? You really want them. I can tell you really want them. I can tell that you can't, I didn't tell her that I could tell that she couldn't get them herself. But it was just like, you know what? It's not that big. It's $14. I can be out $14 for a pair of earrings if it makes her that happy.
Yeah.
And it really did. And then she went to the bathroom and put them on right away, came by and showed me. She's like, I wanted you to be the first one to see. And she walks around the whole thing. She was showing them off. And I had so many people come up after that to come look at my stuff.
See, and that's the thing. Sometimes, and actually not even sometimes.
And that's not why I did it. I want to clarify that.
Well, no.
I didn't do it so that she would show it off. I did it to make her happy.
Well, see, and that was kind of the point I was going to go with. Sometimes you have to, and I mean, as Twitch personalities and such, we think about this more often than people think. Like, you go to places and people treat it like a business,
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if that's their prerogative, like, then fine. Like, that's on them. But it doesn't always mean that it's going to be the way you need to do things. Like, sometimes you look at it and it's just like, if I were to give these to this person, I know that it would make their day.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like it sets me back that much. Now, if it had been like one of the hats or something,
Well, shit, that's a whole different animal.
Sorry, Kate. You can pick out a pair of earrings or a necklace.
But the necklace is stretching it a little bit.
Well, the necklaces. So I had two different necklaces. I had just plain oil diffuser necklaces, which were little, small colored wool balls with a spiral cage necklace, and I'd made the wire spiral cage, and I'd made the wool balls, and there was three different color balls for each necklace, and that was $14. And for an extra $1, I had some essential oils that they could put on. They could go ahead and put on the necklace if they wanted some right away, because wool is a natural diffuser for oils. It'll hold on and slowly diffuse the essential oil from between 1 to 3 days. It'll last, depending on the surrounding air and a bunch of different factors. But 1 to 3 days. So I had those, and then I had when I made the sheep earrings, I'd made those in. I had made the first pair at a guild meeting, and one of the guild members said that I should do those in the cages too. And so I did a larger wire cage necklace with the sheep in them, and that was just a single bead because it was bigger. And because it had probably a little bit more wool overall than the three combined, and I had to use more wire to make a bigger cage. Those ones were $17. So,
hey, I mean, it's how much time you put into them.
Yeah.
How much material went into them. I mean, it's... There's one thing I know you wouldn't do is you wouldn't bullshit people. Like, obviously, you got to make a profit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, based on what you said, like, earlier with not buying, with, you sold X amount of pieces.
You
sold what? You said 6 pieces?
I made a total of 6 sales.
Okay, so 6 sales, does that include the free earrings?
No.
Okay. So whatever profits you got off of those 6 items very well covered the cost of at least materials on those earrings.
Oh, definitely.
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like, oh, well, and you didn't, and that's the thing, you didn't give away the earrings to be like, oh, hey, here are these, show them to everybody, have them come to my booth and buy.
Right.
It was just like, listen, I understand. I mean, you've been here 3 times and whatnot, and let me just pick out a pair.
Yeah. Yep.
And you just do it like that, and people remember that. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah. Like, I still have some stuff that I got when I was a kid that someone just gave to me.
Yeah.
I probably don't need to keep that stuff, but I form sentimental attachments.
Well, see, and the thing is, it's very much a kind of like a pay it forward mentality.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because, you say you look back and somebody gave you stuff, when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And now you've done it for somebody else.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
maybe when they're your age, or
maybe she'll become an artist.
Yeah.
And she'll see someone that really wants something and for whatever reason can't.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, hey, you know what? Someone did this for me when I was a kid. Now I'm going to do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But I mean, it's one of those situations where you go, hey, like, what, it's one of those things we don't think about. We don't think about, like, what happens X amount down the road.
Oh, yeah. We're very, very immediately minded people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Just humans as a whole. Like, you'll sit there and they'll be like, oh, what are you going to do? Yeah, even the what are you going to do in 5 years? Like, it is impossible for any person to know what they're going to be doing in 5 years.
I mean, I typically give the same answer I've been giving since middle school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's morbid as shit because I was a morbid fucking teenager. But,
all right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully not dead. Like,
okay, fair. But still, there's that hopefully part. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you asked me 5 years ago, I would have, like, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I would have said, at the time, with the person, with this person and blah, 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 and, living our lives together and blah, blah, blah. That shit didn't happen.
Right?
Yep.
Let's see. 5 years ago. Man, I probably would have, let's see. Was that when I probably would have thought that I would still be living in North Carolina. Because I think that was when I was in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Has it really been 5 years since wow. Yeah, I probably would have thought that I would still be living in North Carolina with Nerd House.
Yep.
And I still probably wouldn't have known what job I was going to be doing, because at least like now I have kind of this desire to be to
do costuming,
to do costuming and I enjoy doing the felting and stuff too a lot, and I have been feeling like I've been doing more of that lately,
mm-hmm.
but that's just for it's easier and faster to do, really, and I haven't really had any cons planned.
You're not wrong about it being faster and easier to do, for example, the felting versus doing costuming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also said there's also not any cons right now.
Yeah.
So that's one of those situations where, like, if there was a con, yeah, would you, you'd be working on a costume.
Yeah. Well, so I was going to be going to a con in a couple weeks,
mm-hmm.
and then this other girl at the pool store quit, and so I won't be going to this convention. But because it fell around the same time as the event that I was going to be teaching at, and then this the Sheep Festival.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up doing felting because that was the more immediate, I needed stock. But another thing is I need to start trying to do more stuff for other people, because I enjoy making costumes for myself as well, and I enjoy wearing my own costumes, but there's just I don't know. It's just kind of a yeah. If it happens, it'll happen. You know,
Yeah.
if I get it made, it'll get made. If I don't, you know, I'll live. Um,
And that's understandable. I mean,
it's just not as inspiring, I guess. Like
uh,
I've got a couple that are more inspiring, like my planned Astrid
mhm.
from How to Train Your Dragon. Super inspiring cosplay. Little bit overwhelming, just because of how much I'm doing for this particular costume. I've told you about this, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, the one that I'm like doing so historically accurate that I learned an ancient Viking technique.
Oh yes. Yep. Yep.
um, so yeah. Um, so that one's like really inspiring, but also really daunting. So I'm kind of like taking my time with that one. And then I've got other ones that I really want to do. Like I want to start doing stuff with foam for Pidge for Pidge from Voltron Legendary Defenders. I really want to make the Paladin armor. But that's another thing. It's just like it's stuff that I haven't done before. So I'm kind of holding myself back, which is kind of silly on my part. I need to just like step up and do it.
And that's fair.
And realize that it's not gonna turn out right the first time.
I mean, at the same time, we also have me constantly throwing like, "Hey, here's a video on how to make wrestling gear,"
Yeah,
which arguably has helped you understand some new
yeah,
techniques.
yes, it has done that for sure. It also made me go, it's probably a good thing that I don't know any wrestlers.
Why? Because you've been making all their gear.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd put my other stuff aside and my problem. So my personal problem that I have is I get obsessive.
Oh yeah.
And which is all right, except that I get obsessed with things to the exclusion of other things.
Gotcha.
Which is less all right. And I sometimes will let things kind of take over my life, which is not a good thing to do. Which is why, you know, I'm trying to get to where I'm balancing out between my felting and my sewing, because those are things that are very important to me, and not letting myself get burnt out by either of those. So like Sunday I did a new felted hat. Then today I did some sewing stuff. I didn't do a lot because I was helping my dad with stuff. But I did some sewing work today. I'm going to take both felting stuff and sewing stuff to this house sitting gig because it's an hour away and I am not going to leave that house. Like, unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Forget that.
And I mean, I completely and totally get that. I completely and totally get that because it's, I wouldn't want to like, if I had to travel an hour to get someplace and it's like, oh, I'm going to be there for, I don't know, let's just say all weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there for a reason.
Uh-huh.
And unless I absolutely have to, I don't plan on leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just the way it is. I mean,
right.
But yeah.
And I might take a few books up there and see about recording some Comfy Corner stuff.
Well, see, and that's
some backlog.
Well, see, you know, back to the Comfy Corner stuff. You know, as I said,
jumping all over today.
I mean, this is because we don't have Balen here.
This is true.
Well, actually, that more like it. I'm joking. Balen, we miss you. But yeah, so with the comfy corner stuff, like as I said, like you can record like 2 hours and
Oh yeah.
then, or let's just say you set it to like 5 chapters, right?
Hmm.
I'm gonna record 5 chapters, take a break, get lunch, whatnot, then I'll record another 5 chapters. I
Hmm.
mean, if you wanted to, like hypothetically, if you really wanted to, I know you could probably read through a book, in a day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I had nothing else to do,
Yeah.
I absolutely could. I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've gotten the newest book in the series and just blitzed right through it.
Yeah.
Didn't get any sleep, but
But see, and the thing is, like, you could do that, and like, you record these episodes,
Mhm.
and it's like, all right, well, these episodes are now recorded, so that's cool. And
we're good to go for a month and a half.
yeah, I mean, let's just say, on average, like, I know this is going to be a little weird and hard to kind of put a number down. On average, like the Artemis Fowl books.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, where you should start. Because, honestly, those got you have to finish that fucking book.
Yeah. What I'd probably do is I'd probably do the first, because this was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Was when I read these. I don't remember the voices that I gave. I mean, I could go watch my videos again, but
I know
I think
you
if
hate,
I just...
I was going to say, I know you hate watching yourself. So
I do. And these are all video archive.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So I would definitely say, like, that would probably be the best, because those got the best reaction.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go with that. You start with those, and like the first Artemis Fowl book, like how long did that take you to read on Twitch?
Let's see here. I've got 4 episodes of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 3.5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
2 hours.
Okay, so we're at 5.5.
That's 5.5. 2.5 hours, so that's 7, 8
hours.
8 hours, and then a 7-hour stream. So 15 hours.
Okay, so 15 hours, and then we got to go and cut all the, like, thank you for the follow, thank you for the host.
And anytime that I got distracted
Yeah.
and started just randomly talking.
So I'm thinking
happens a lot.
13, maybe 12, 13 hours.
Oh yeah, probably. Because there's bathroom breaks in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Especially that 7-hour one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're looking at, let's just say, we'll say 12 hours just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Figure 2 hours a shot. You got what, six episodes?
Month and a half, yeah.
Yeah. That's if you release them one every week.
Right.
Because hypothetically, you could release them like 2 every week. So it's just like, it's not the situation of like, oh, you have to wait till next week to get the next part of this.
Yeah. It's just, you gotta wait 3 days.
Yeah. Just like, oh, well, for example, let's just say you start the series on like a Friday, and you release Friday, Monday.
Yeah.
So like, oh, hey, first episode's out on Friday, and then
Are you covering the 2 days that podcasts aren't released on from the Precipice Podcast Network? It's the 2 days of the week that things aren't released, isn't it?
I didn't even think that.
I'm like,
see, but
you just filled the Precipice Podcast Network week.
See, but the thing is, like, with the Precipice Podcast Network, that content is would be available on Twitch. Now, obviously, this material would not be able to be on Twitch.
Right, we can put it on Twitch, but we could put it on, like...
Yeah, I mean, you could load it on your YouTube channel, and then I could just use the Precipice YouTube page, Precipice Podcast Network YouTube page, and kind of just, set up a playlist with your videos in it.
Right.
And it's right there. So it's just like, oh, hey, when a new episode gets added, like, or for example, you set up a playlist on your channel, and I just copy that playlist. Because I could do that. I could just kind of port that over. So as you update it on your channel, it gets updated in that thing. So people that are going to, for example, the Precipice Podcast Network channel don't have to per se go to your channel. However, when they view the video, obviously you're getting the views.
It'd be through my...
Yeah. So it's one of those situations. And I think that's actually not a bad way to do it. I mean, I have it set up with Brothering Around that way. Gimmick Bag and Pod Errors. Well, okay, so Gimmick Bag, the first like 26 episodes, first 26, maybe 28 episodes are on my primary channel. All the rest of the episodes are hosted on the Precipice Podcast channel. And it just makes it easier. I mean, so I created a playlist with like, oh, here's all the old episodes and here's the new episodes at this location. So one place, you don't have to worry about blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. And I definitely think once again, I know you had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that it would be something unique that you could offer. And I mean, think of it this way. You put up an episode. They're on their phone with their Radio Public app.
Because it's an awesome app.
It is. They've subscribed to your channel on Radio Public. And one thing leads to another, and they're sitting there, all of a sudden their phone buzzes, they look at it, and they're just like, oh shit. New episodes available on, I just got a notification that, Rae released the next episode of Comfy Corner. So now I can, for example, sit in bed or whatnot and listen to it. Because, I mean, the way you read it was kind of an ASMR style.
Yeah, I did try and keep it, kind of in a low, quiet type voice.
Well, you wanted people to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. And for somebody...
And the original idea was to have an ASMR stream. But book reading was really all I could really come up with.
Yeah.
Because... I don't know. I love watching ASMR. I'm not so good at improving it, especially when I've got a chat to interact with too.
Yeah. No, and I understand that. I mean, I don't know how Build does it.
Oh, does Build? Oh, no. Well, I think that's just because Build's got that voice.
Build's got that ASMR voice.
It really does.
It's way.
I think that's actually what inspired me.
It might have been
originally. It was just Build and us making fun of it. What? And then Storm's like saying that my whispers like freaked him out because it was too much like ASMR or something. I don't remember exactly. It's like, oh,
it's. I mean, it's one of those things that like you just. And I definitely think that it'd be something really cool to bring to the network. And I mean, this entire episode has just been me and Rae bullshitting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And just.
This is what happens when we lose one. Well, okay, but let's be fair. I think every episode of PODD is just the three of us BSing.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was it? 2 weeks ago is this a gaming podcast?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago was this a gaming podcast? Last week it was. Is this podcast?
Is this a Marvel podcast? And then this week is this an advertising podcast?
Like, advertising/crafting podcast?
Yeah. I mean, legitimately, I mean, it's when and this goes...
Welcome to Pod Airs. We don't know what we're talking about.
We don't come fucking prepared.
Nah.
But no, I mean, to be 100% honest with you guys, when I set up the API errors team on Twitch, the quote unquote team, I looked for really awesome people that I enjoyed kind of hanging around in a sense, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, there's some people that I wanted to be part of the group, but I had another voice that was telling me like, no, we can't keep adding people because you've because you've made so many friends and blah 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 blah, and why would you add that person? Because I just don't feel comfortable with that, and it's like,
Mm.
why is that? I don't know. It's just I guess I'm just being jealous and blah 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 and like really like friend. That's what it is. A friend. Why the fuck are you being jealous? Like that's I don't know. Now I'm digging into fucking past
Yeah.
relationship shit, so
Yeah. Well, so that was so it was similar with the odd team.
oh yeah.
Storms and I think we were the real pushers behind odd team originally.
Mm-hmm.
And we just wanted a little group of friends. And at first it was just kind of us, and we were the two of us, and we were just like, yeah, we're not actually going to do anything because it's just the two of us.
I'm odd and
yeah,
and he's team.
yeah. And then it was then Rainey came in, and Rainey was pretty thought the idea was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we started bringing more people in, and I think it was when Storms was still technically the head of Odd Team, the Red Ranger as he called it, even though his favorite color is blue. I mean, whatever. When he was still the head, he brought in. Who came after you, Todd?
It was either Boo or Connor. Because I was right
Yeah.
after Rainey.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was one of them. Which one? I want to say Connor. But I think I had mentioned to Storms that whichever one of those it was would be a good fit for our team, and he just added them in.
Oh, without consulting
anyone, and I was like,
that was Connor.
That was Connor.
That was Connor.
And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Because I remember us having the discussion about Boo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We don't want to fuck up like last time. As we're all kind of just like, we don't want to fuck up like last time. Like you're the one that didn't. Oh, everybody's got a voice, and you didn't ask. We're fine with the decision, mind you, but like, still kind of hit us out of left field. Like,
and I think that was when Storm decided to make me the quote unquote Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Because and at that point we started like, and I think I don't remember if it had to be unanimous because it's been so long since we've done anything odd team. It's been so long since anyone but you, me, and Storms of the odd team and Balen, because Balen is part of the odd team. I forgot that we added him in. He was like one of the last ones to get added in, and then we just kind of all started talking.
Yeah, what was it? Balen and Danny were like the last two.
Yeah. And I don't remember if it had to be completely unanimous or if it had to be a majority. I think it had to be a majority, but anyone that was opposed would give their reasons why. And if it was, like a better reason than just, I don't know this person. Because I know we had a few times where it was just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to abstain.
Because I mean, like with Connor, for example, with Boo, for example, it was just like, well, how do you feel about bringing Boo in? And I'm just like, I mean, you guys know Boo, I don't.
Yeah.
So if you think he's a good fit, then I'm down with that.
I'd say Storms, Rainey, Connor, and I all knew Boo, and we all really liked Boo. Boo's awesome. That's Boo Dude 21 on Twitter. No. I'll just plug him. He's awesome. He still streams. He's one of the few of us that still streams.
Yeah. When he's not doing his fancy book learning.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's important to know why, to have everyone within it. I think it's a team. Yeah. Especially if it's a small, close-knit team. I mean, I know there's bigger teams that have like a bajillion people, and so they just have like a core group of,
because I mean, like,
I don't know, like leaders or something that vote in new people.
I will be perfectly honest with you when it comes to the API errors.
I
mean, half of, if not more than half of that team is inactive.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Odd Team at this point is as well. I think you stream, Boo streams. Mm-hmm. I think Connor streams, but I haven't talked to Connor in like forever.
Connor, I see Connor pop on every so often.
Yeah.
It's very
but I haven't done consistent streaming in a long time. Balen doesn't stream much. Storms hasn't streamed in a long time. Mm-hmm. I think Rainy's life situations have kept her from streaming for a long time. Yeah, I think it's just you, Boo Dude, and occasionally actually stream.
And I'm just gonna let this be known right now. Rainy, we miss you.
We do, Rainy. Rainy, come back. Even if it's not in the stream. I still get messages from her every now and then. Rainy, come back. You can blame me. Oh.
So you get away with this because Balen ain't here.
Balen isn't here. I can sing.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like API errors. We got me, the X, because I never kicked her out of the group. Mm-hmm. I always said that when it comes to, and that's one of my faults. Like, I'm not about to throw somebody out of the group unless there's a damn good reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
like they've pretty much gone against, like, if they became, like, I don't know, a racist,
if
terrible person.
Like, I would,
like, let's say let's pretend that Logan Paul was a decent person.
Well, no, I was actually gonna go and use the analogy of all the drama that's going on with Channel Awesome.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, you have a lot to catch up on then.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The channel basically imploded.
Okay.
They started bleeding producers. There was a whole 70-something page thing that came out about everything that Channel Awesome did, involving allegedly not paying talent, having them go out to shoots, signing releases. So regardless if they wanted to do a little skit or stunt or whatnot, and if they got hurt, they had to do it, and it was on them.
Oh, jeez.
It was it's honestly sounds like some real scumbag shit.
Yeah.
And then apparently, one of the former producers allegedly, and I say allegedly because I don't want to get us in trouble, was grooming female content creators. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then there was,
okay, so if you had them in the group, and then this came to light, you'd be like,
yeah,
we're not going to be.
Exactly. Like, if for example, a member of the, it became my knowledge that a member of the group had, done, sexual assault.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Oh, yeah.
There's not even a conversation. The conversation is, you have any of our badging on your channel, make it disappear because you're gone.
Can you hear that in the background?
Not really.
Okay, good.
Every now and then there's was a little something, but it was nothing major.
Okay.
But
my dad is just playing.
Mm. But
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't. Sorry.
But yeah, so if something like that were to happen, then obviously I would throw them off.
Yeah.
If they wanted to step away, like if somebody decides like, hey, listen, I'm gonna resign from the team.
Mm-hmm.
More power to you. You know?
Yeah, like we had that in Odd with Danny.
Yeah.
Or Danny decided that they weren't gonna stream anymore or something. That they were pretty much done with Twitch, and so resigned from the Odd team.
Mm-hmm.
Which, we were fine. We were like, well, if you decide to come back, you're more than welcome to come back. Your place will still be here with us. If you want to still hang out in the Discord and chat with us, because at that point in time we were still like somewhat vocal amongst each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're so bad.
But I mean, like if I look at the API errors and the lineup we have with us, some of them have because Twitch allowed you to do name changes. Some of them have changed names, and I haven't gotten like their new Twitch name. So I kind of lost contact with a few people. A couple of them left Twitch and are now on Mixer. Well, they went to Beam, and then now it's Mixer. So I mean, there's that. So I mean, at that point, it's like, well, I mean, you left, kind of, best of luck to you, but kind of got to take you off the team,
right?
But then we also have, people that don't really stream anymore, or people that, because of life, it's very infrequent that they do stream.
Yeah.
One of the early groups that I was a part of, there was a lot of issues going on, obviously. And we kind of touched on this on one of the episodes of Brothering. But there were 3 people that were part of the team, which were also part of the Hobo Network, which was Kami's group.
Okay.
Wes from Brothering Wrap-up.
Oh, okay.
So, and I mean, there was a couple more people. There was 4 people that were part of both teams, and something happened. And I mean, obviously, there's reasons why certain things went down the way they did, and certain reasons why I kind of, at that point, I was just like, I wanted to do this whole group thing. Like, I wanted to start up my own group anyway. Yeah. This is now the time for me to start scouting my talent, so to speak, and laying the groundwork. And that's really what it came down to. But that being said, I was just very taken back because some of the people, like one of the people in particular, they did it for fun. They were a Twitch streamer for fun. They did it in their free time when they had free time. Everybody knew that. And then they're let go from the team because the person that put the team together feels they're not pulling their weight.
Okay.
And then
that has always bugged me because I know I've known of things that are where it's like based on views or followers, and I'm just like, yeah.
Well, what it came down to was they didn't have a quote unquote schedule. They would stream when they could. It was just the way it is. Like if they streamed twice a week, then they were able to stream that twice that week. The next week they might stream 4 days. They might stream once, or they might not stream at all. It all depended on what life demanded.
Right.
And, really cool person, really awesome person, and I'm very thankful that to have kind of sort of known the person.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, they did a name change on Twitch, and I mean they're a cool person. I pop in their channel every now and then. Still kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
Another person who was hit with the same thing was Marco from in Nerd in the Bay.
Uh-huh.
He was another part of that, another member of the group that was, you're not pulling your weight. Like, fucking really? Now
Yeah.
there was some shady backroom shit that happened as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, one side heard one thing, one side heard another thing, and then there were some people that were kind of more privy to what was going on in some aspects, and then other people that were more privy on what was going on in the other aspects.
Okay.
So, one of the reasons how people weren't pulling their weight, right, as it was
Uh-huh.
put, wasn't even though it was made to seem like, oh, it's because they're very inconsistent as a streamer. They're not consistently streaming. What it came down to was they would not send their viewers to his channel
Ah.
because they would say, oh, hey, like, this person has like 1,500 followers, right?
Uh-huh.
I could throw it to somebody who has 1,500 followers and 60 people watching, for example.
Yeah.
Or I could throw my viewers to somebody that has 200 followers, part of the same group, and has 2 people watching. I'm sorry, that's a no fucking brainer. Like,
Right.
if for me, like, I had that choice tonight when I ended stream. I'm like, I can send over to this person who has, I think they had 80 people in chat.
Uh-huh.
Their view count of like 80, I think that's what it said. I could send them to this person, or I can send them to this person here who has 2 people. Where do you think I'm going to send it? Am I going to send it to the person that already has a large view count, or am I going to send it to a person that doesn't?
Oh, absolutely
I'm
to the
gonna
person.
send yeah, I'm gonna send it to the person that I feel, first off, either A, fits the community the best. Now, in some cases, both casters do fit the mentality of the community, so that's
Uh-huh.
great. In other cases, though, I mean, there's times where I'll be like, okay, I have this person, this person, this person, and this person to choose from. Let me
Mm-hmm.
see who I can host to. And I'll just go, I don't think my community, it's like, I don't think my community would want to watch that. And at the same time, it's like, do I feel like watching that right now? Which is the even bigger thing.
Uh-huh.
Like half the time it's, who would I rather hang out with right now?
Right.
Do I want to hang out with this person who's going to be constantly distracted because they're trying to entertain?
Right.
Or do I want to hang out with somebody who's going to have a more relaxed vibe because, there's only a handful of us there,
Right.
That's the way I look at it. I mean, there's times I'll go into channels where they have a large view count and it's a relaxed atmosphere. I mean, I can't judge everybody based on it, but
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, at times, it doesn't always. I mean, it's very situational,
Yeah.
you know. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, like, API error wise, Build still streams. Maury
Mm-hmm.
streams weekends when she can. I stream. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Avanto. Avanto's doing the college thing and making music. Like,
man, I miss Vanto.
yeah, don't say it too loud.
I'll show up all of a sudden in the podcast.
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Magic.
It's Vanto, so yeah.
I've sacrificed many things to be here right now. What do you mean, many things? Many things you don't want to know. Let's just say I had to wash my hands afterwards.
Also, I'm missing one.
Yes, I'm missing one. I don't remember where I put it down.
Playing music has become significantly harder.
Well, no, it wasn't his hand that he lost.
Oh, fair point.
But yeah, I mean, like, I try to keep a running track of like everybody in the group and who streams and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And I mean, the API errors were, we were a stream group, and we kind of morphed into like, oh, let's have a stream group into more of a community. We're more like a fucking family.
Right.
And I mean, Odd Team's the same way to a point. I mean, and I say
it just didn't grow as much, I think. It didn't we ended up kind of petering out and losing contact amongst each other before we could really start because I know Balen, I don't think Balen ever really got to talk to Rainey at all.
No.
Balen kind of knew Connor and Boo from Rocket League when especially when I was hosting or when I was streaming Rocket League. Balen, Boo, Connor, Build would play with us too sometimes, and then some other people. But yeah, like not Connor, Balen and Rainey never got to know each other. Yeah. Danny kind of didn't stay super long.
Yeah.
And we never got to do the things that we were planning to do, like community streams.
Yeah. I mean, we had tried doing it.
Never ended up working out between scheduling and everything.
The closest we ever got was that one time we played that shitty MMO.
Yeah. Yeah,
I fucking hated that game so much.
That was awful. It was so bad.
Yeah.
The game. Like hanging out and and talking to each other. I mean, communication got kind of sketchy. Yeah. We had a hard time because there were I think it was 6 of them.
Yeah, and I mean, other than that, like Rocket League has been the only other time we've been able to kind of come together.
Yeah, we did a bit with Marvel Heroes, but that kind of ended up capping out at 4 people being the easiest to.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest on that one. When it came down to Marvel Heroes, it was Storms when he could.
Yeah.
Which he couldn't do it all the time.
No, he was kind of a occasional guest star.
Yeah, he was an occasional guest star. My ex, who she was there most Mondays for a couple hours. She wasn't there the whole time.
Yeah, I think she would leave shortly. We would get to play for a little while together, but she would leave usually about 45 minutes, maybe an hour after I got there.
Yeah.
But it was usually closer to 30, 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And then it would, but the core 3 were you, me, and Balen.
Yeah. Which is then where this pod airs, because we would hang out and chat out after Marvel Heroes, after we were, after the event ended.
We would do it while we were fucking.
Well, yeah, we would, and
chats.
I think there were even times that we would say that we should just do a podcast.
Yeah.
But then we would hang out and we would talk for hours after the event ended. Me keeping everybody up.
Fair.
And that tended to be a little bit more personal stuff, not stuff that we would want to have recorded and podcasted.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
But then from there, that was when I think we would have just random talks and we would say, yeah, we should really think about doing a podcast. And then Marvel Heroes ended up changing so much that I think we did our couple episodes of Pod Airs before Marvel Heroes got to the point where we couldn't play it anymore.
Yeah. Because we had posted 3 episodes.
Yes. We had recorded 5?
We had recorded 4. There was the Civil War episode, there was the Ghostbuster episode, there was the Bad Game Movies episode, and then the Forever Lost episode, because it got really, I don't want to say off topic, but
it got more gossip column.
No, I wouldn't,
because we talked bad about it.
Well, we
tried, we didn't name any names, but we got mean, I think.
Well, we got mean, and it was not so much there were certain people that had sparked the conversation.
Yeah.
But it very much was the whole culture around that.
Yeah.
Which was, for anybody wondering what we're talking about, there was a point in 2016.
Yep.
Where it became a trend on Twitch to be a total douche nozzle and say, you want to hear me talk during my stream? Fucking pay me. You want to see my face cam? Fucking pay me. And it was just, and it became a trend for a little bit.
I think we just got really preachy in that episode.
We got preachy, and I'll completely agree with that. I know I was legitimately pissed off.
Yeah.
Because basically everything that was being done is stuff I joked about.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that's the kind of person I am. I like to make a lot of jokes, and I like to kind of take the piss out of situations and so on and so forth. Fuck, I did a Marvel Heroes stream where it was I had my mic muted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I purposely had my mic muted for the entire time I was playing Marvel Heroes. Actually, no, not even that. I had my alerts disabled, I had my microphone off, and I had the game audio off.
Oh, wow. So it was completely silent?
It was complete silent stream.
Oh, gosh. So everyone thought something was... Probably everyone thought something was broken.
So what ended up happening was people would be like, if they're just like, you're... Because they would see my mouth moving, and they're like, you're muted. You're muted. And I would kind of just tab out of Marvel Heroes real quick, type in chat, I know. I'm like, there's no audio on this stream. And the thing is, in the title, I said silent Marvel Heroes stream.
Okay.
So it was right there in the title, and people thought I was just like,
gating.
You don't know, why don't you have any audio? Why is this, I can't hear, people going, I can't hear the game. I can't hear this. I didn't want to hear the game to begin with. Let's be honest on that part, because it was the Marvel Heroes Omega. But yeah, it's just little things like that. When I tend to, when I get into a mood, and you guys know this, I get self-destructive.
Yeah.
And for me, doing a stream like that was not so much for the laughs of this is great.
Yeah.
As it was, let me try to kill my Twitch channel.
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially what it felt like. And I was just, because I had hit a point where it was starting to not be fun anymore. You know, it was one of those situations. It was around the time, this was around the time that the ex decided to get rid of me. So I mean, I was in a really bad place. But yeah, I mean, I was just so fucking done. I was completely checked out. I toyed with shutting down my YouTube channel, which I really wasn't using at that point anyway. I was toying with shutting down my Twitch channel, but I didn't want to just delete the channel.
Right.
I wanted to just kind of drive away as many viewers as possible.
Uh-huh.
I actually wanted to see my follower count go down. Like that was the point. Like I was to be like, now I feel gratified. Because people are finally seeing like the kind of shit content I put out. You know?
Yeah.
And it was just like I just got really super down on myself. Because I didn't feel like I was doing anything amazing. You know, and then thankfully I had good people that kind of pulled me off, you know, from that brink of that quote unquote precipice of
hey, plug, roll credits.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you know, I had people that kind of prevented me from kind of destroying what I created.
Yeah.
And I was thankful about that. I really was. I still am. Still thankful for you. And well, I mean, you and I had probably one of the longer conversations that came down to it.
Yeah, I'm a windbag.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It's just, it's one of those situations where there were some people that like I could probably talk to about it, and then there was people I knew I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, like most of the Pathfinder group, I knew I really couldn't express what it was to most of them. I mean, they would understand it, but at the same time be like, well, why are you doing this? You know, like
yeah. Well, and I think it honestly it helps that because you said at the beginning of the stream when you were talking about the health issues you've been going through that you have anxiety issues. And I think it helps that while you know we don't necessarily react in the same way, I also have very, very acute anxiety and depression. And so while you know I don't know exactly how things are affecting you, I understand that they are, and that you know I
would say, and that's the thing, like
I think that's a big part of it.
I can honestly tell you right off the top of my head, the 3 people that kind of helped me the most during that quote unquote dark, confusing time. You, Maury, and New Wave. The 3 of you have no idea how much you actually did. And I mean, I'm not a religious person or whatnot, but that's, you know, people would say that's the God's honest truth. And honestly, that exactly what that would be. I mean, the 3 of you specifically are, you helped me more than I think you guys know.
Well, I'm glad that you know we were able to, honestly, like, and I'm sure that New Wave and Maury feel the same. Because I mean, you're a good friend, man. You are. This is getting sappy.
Because Balen isn't here.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's sentimentality. I'm full of
I mean, this episode's just going to be called "Goddamn It, Balen."
it.
So,
yes.
GDI Balen.
This is what happens when we get all sentimental and
Yeah.
shit.
But yeah, I mean, like,
Emotions, man.
because I mean, like, and I had emotions come up this past weekend as well, while I was in a friend's Twitch channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were kind of celebrating their 4 years on Twitch,
Oh, awesome.
and yeah, they decided to share something that only a few people knew about and whatnot, and it was a very, very emotional time.
Mm-hmm.
It was legitimately a very emotional time, and I remember one of the things I chimed in with was back when I was going through, and actually, you know what? There's a fourth person that I gotta thank and whatnot. But I'm not gonna use the name because like it's one of those situations where it's like now I'm telling this part of it, and it's like if I give the name, then it's not my place.
Yeah.
But basically,
They know who they are.
yeah, they know exactly who they are. But they said, you know, back when I was going through my shit last year, I'm 33. When it comes to aspects of your life, some people have an easy path, and other people it takes them a long time to find it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of those people that took 32 years to find kind of who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I kind of shared that with my Twitch community. And this person said to me, it's so brave of you. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote.
Right.
It's very brave of you to share this with your community. It's very brave and strong of you to share this with your community, because it means that you feel safe with them.
Yeah.
And during this event this past weekend, I said a year ago when I was going through some stuff, somebody said this to me, and I'm gonna share it with you. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote, and I basically what I just said, kind of post that, and there's like a moment of like while they're reading it, they're kind of, they're already crying, so it's like
right.
And I give it like a minute or two, and I go, "That was you that said that to me."
Aww.
So that was.
Aww, that's precious.
So it was.
Oh my gosh.
It was one of those things where it's just. But yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like you don't understand. People don't understand the lives they touch.
Yeah.
It's a thankless job. It really is.
Oh yeah.
I'm thankful for the community I have. I know you're thankful for the community you have.
Oh yeah. Especially the ones that actually show up when I'm streaming anymore. They're like, "Oh hey, this is not Ray's normal stream time, which has lately been not at all. I'm gonna go watch it anyway."
But yeah, as a content creator, you can think about the dollars and whatnot and all the other shit. And to some people, honestly, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I kind of wish I could make a living doing content. It's not something that's going to happen, and I know that.
Right.
But it'd be nice, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Be legitimately nice, especially given my current situation. But
Oh, yeah.
that being said, when I see certain people come into chat, like I've had people come into my chat and just hang out, and my philosophy is, if I can make you forget about troubles of your day for even a fucking minute, I've done my job.
Uh-huh.
I've had people come in that are dealing with some heavy shit.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was deaths in the family, deaths of friends, relationships gone wrong, and so on and so forth. I mean, I've had people come in that have been dealing with all that, and just being able to kind of make them forget about that, even for a minute, is enough, you know?
Yeah.
Because you never know. You never know what just saying, you know, like, "Hey, I'm there for you," or, you know, let me make you laugh a little bit, or whatnot. What that actually does for somebody.
Right.
There was a video, and I know I shared it. I shared it with amongst us, and it was you know, Game Theorist.
Yeah.
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 So he posted a video from, I think, VidCon Europe,
Okay.
and he talks about it's actually from him at there. Like, he was a speaker,
Uh-huh.
and kind of gives this whole thing about when he was in high school and such, and how he talked to freshmen who kind of felt out of place, and, you know, kind of formed a friendship with them and stuff like that. And his senior year, um, he's just the kid was just like, "Hey, I got to talk to you." He goes, "Oh no, we could, you know, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna grab some food." He goes, "No, no, no, seriously, I need to talk to you right now." And it's like, "All right, well, what's up? What's so urgent?" He goes, "Thank you." For what? He goes, "For saving my life." And it was just like, it's such a poignant point.
Uh-huh.
As content creators, we don't, you know, we're responsible for our communities. You know, we're responsible for making people feel welcome, for making sure things don't turn super toxic and such.
Right.
That's what we
Yeah.
do. Um, but seeing somebody come into your chat, and now, obviously, don't call out workers, because that's a
Right.
fucking bad thing to do. But if, for example, I see somebody, like everybody that comes into my chat who speaks,
Uh-huh.
I I don't, it doesn't matter if it's force of habit or whatnot. "Hey, how are you doing? How's your day been?" Blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Just little things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because even something as simple as that could potentially save a life.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
To let somebody, like, to let somebody know that they're, you know, there's somebody that's actually interested in what's going on with their life. To have somebody that's actually not, you know, being an asshole to them because of, you know, reasons X, Y, and Z, you know?
Right.
Um, I mean, I grew up a fat kid. Get the shit kicked out of me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Um, I got made fun of a lot based on it, you know? I had to either learn how to fight or learn how to be funny. Because nobody's going to beat the shit out of you if you're making them laugh, you know? And
Right.
it's just one of those things. Like, I would just try to Like I put myself in their position. Like anybody that comes in, um, I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know how their day's been, but it's my job as a personality on Twitch to make sure that they at least have an enjoyable time. Make sure that they have fun. People come to Twitch, come to YouTube, listen to podcasts for information, to enjoy themselves, or to just de-stress and try to forget the world around them.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that there's more people that come to channels, whether it's, live streams, recorded, or even podcasts, because they want to have an escape. They want to be able to kind of not worry about things. Like me, I don't. I mean, I do enough worrying.
Yeah, same.
Like like it's just like, oh hey, how am I paying this bill? Because I haven't had a job since whenever.
Right.
How am I, how am I buying groceries? Like how am I doing this? It's a lot of stress from that. It's a lot of anxiety because I'm just like, for example, I'll look at like I spent like $23 on groceries the other day. Friday or Saturday. And it was Saturday before I ended up getting all stress ridden and laid up. But so I ended up spending like $23 on groceries, and it's just like, okay. So let me look at it this way. I got like 12 packets of ramen. I'm like, okay, so if I do one of those a day, I'm good for 12 days. I got 2 loaves of bread. I got a jar of peanut butter. I got some canned chicken, so I can make like chicken salad, I can just vary it up. And like 2 cans of chili. And I'm like, okay, I should be good for 2 weeks. And then when it comes down to that time, like now I got to think about, like now it's just like, all right, well, bread's going to go bad. So now I have to figure out how quickly I can use this bread without it like really screwing me,
Right.
But then I have like, oh well, I can have 1 packet of ramen a day, And yeah, I mean it's not totally healthy for me to be eating like once a day, but
I mean,
when
you
you're
gotta do what you gotta do.
exactly. So, I mean, for me, I'll after job hunting for 6 to 8 hours, unfruitfully job hunting, mind you, I'll go on Twitch and I'll just sit there and I'll, just kind of try to forget about my day.
Yeah.
Try to like just not think about like, oh hey, I technically, here's the thing, and I say this with all intents and purposes, I technically have a job. Technically. That job involves me getting a Facebook message saying, hey, can you come in this day because we haven't scheduled you this month?
Okay.
For the month of April, I'm working Saturday for a couple hours. All right? It is the first day in April I've worked. And that's it. I mean, it'll probably just be that one day this month. Last month, March, I worked 2 days. I've been with this company since January 20th. That was my date of hire. I've worked 5 days.
Wow.
Since January 20th.
Wow.
Worked 2 days in February, 2 days in March, and now I'll be working 1 day in April.
Wow. Wow, that's
Yeah. And it's like 3-hour shifts too. It's even worse.
Wow, that's not okay.
No, it's not. But the thing is, you get to a point where you take what you can get,
Right.
and you get paid every 2 weeks, so it's like, oh, okay. Now I won't end up seeing paycheck from them until May, the first week of May, I think, because they just ended their pay period.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, here we go. This is what this is. So, if
Huh.
and I'm not about to go and start saying like, oh guys, you would go to this site and do this, or go to that site and do this for me. For me,
Right.
I just I don't want to say I'm too proud of a person. I kind of am.
Hmm.
I'm not big on getting help from people. But yeah, there's I've asked for help a couple times this past year. So,
Yeah.
well, since December, I've asked for help a couple times, and it's like it's upsetting. It really is, and I can't get you can't find gainful employment, and
Uh-huh.
I know you've noticed. I
Mhm.
know you've noticed for a fact when somebody starts bringing up like how much they are just like, oh, I can't find it, I don't have, I really don't work enough, or like, oh well, I don't I don't like this job, or something like that, and I'm just like, because you got one,
Yeah.
and I get like really cold and distant
Mhm.
because like the whole topic of basically being, 3 hours a month is you're
Yeah,
unemployed.
that's yeah.
Three to
Yeah.
6 hours a month is
Well, I
you're
mean,
unemployed.
and see that's the stupid thing is that okay, so and I try to avoid talking about my job around you,
Hmm.
especially because of this, but so like this winter, because pool stores, don't
Yeah.
run much during the winter.
Yeah, in the
Uh
fall you'll get people getting chemicals to kind of treat their pools.
yeah, to close them up. And then so through the winter we do get some
Hmm.
spa chemical stuff. But I was working like once a week. Now I'm currently working twice a week. But even still, I'm collecting unemployment. And the fact that because I know you applied for unemployment
Yep,
and
I was
they
denied,
denied you, and the fact
and I applied for
that's
food stamps too and was denied that too.
that's just stupid, because I'm sitting there. It's it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Now, granted, like my unemployment wasn't much,
But it was
but
something.
it was something, and I have the benefit of living with my parents um currently, so I don't have to worry about.
Oh yeah, no, and I
And
understand that completely.
it's so dumb because I'm grateful that I have what I do,
Yeah,
but now a lot of my unemployment to college loans.
yeah,
um
fair.
so I didn't have a whole it's not exactly that I had spending money, but
Mhm.
I was able to keep paying on my college loans for a while.
Yeah,
um and but that's just it's I don't know. Should be fucked.
it's utterly ridiculous. And it just, for me, like just the whole situation, and like I try not to bring this stuff up like around
Hmm.
people, because it's
Hmm.
just like I I try to keep myself a relatively private person. You know,
Right.
there's the quote unquote creator life, and then there's my life.
Right.
Um, but at the same time, like there's crossover between the
Yeah.
two. And I try.
Absolutely. You're not an actor.
Yeah. Though I do like to credit myself as the actor who plays ToddEvf.
Fair enough. I mean, yes.
I mean,
I
yeah,
guess I don't know. There's a little bit of it in there, but still, ultimately, most streamers are themselves. They may be like
super
DorkyRae is
exaggerated.
probably a more upbeat version of my day-to-day self, but
I mean, for me right now,
still ultimately Rae.
Yeah. I mean, for me right now, like just even just kind of recording a podcast or doing a live stream or sitting there watching somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, most people know me by the moniker, you know? That's what they know me as. And that's what I'll portray. I mean, honestly, it's legitimately the same guy. The only difference, I don't tend to talk about my issues.
Right.
Which in itself is very unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's, you know, I can do a fucking podcast on warning signs and all the other shit. But yeah, I mean, just, you know, you don't, as a creator, as a viewer, I mean, even as a viewer, shit, coming into a channel and being nice and not being a fucking asshole, it means a lot to people.
Yeah.
So it's not just me saying I like to know that I made a difference in somebody's life. It's a two-way street, you know. Like Maury and Rae, you know, stream. I do podcasts with both. Genuinely like hanging out with them. I mean, that's a thing.
Aww.
And you know, if I had said to you, for example, I want to thank you for the stream because it helped me forget about my troubles of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how would you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, that would just like straight up cheer me up.
Yeah.
Like especially if you know, sometimes I'll just have rougher streams where I'm just not feeling it, and I'll go ahead and end the stream.
Yeah.
Kind of, not necessarily on a down note, but kind of.
You're down to a point where you're just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. And then, you know, someone will say, hey, you know, stream and da 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 da, and it's just like, oh, well, at least, you know, I feel like,
well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then from that point, you typically will go for a little bit longer because now
I'll end up
you're kind of like
talking.
reinvigorated in a sense, you know. So
I'll end up talking for a while, keeping everyone up. Like that's a joke that hasn't been made in a long, probably because I haven't streamed in a long time.
But yeah, I mean, it's just as just be awesome to each other.
Oh yeah,
there's
absolutely.
no reason to be assholes to everybody. You don't know what people don't realize, that even the slightest little thing could mean a difference in somebody's life. The slightest little thing, whether it's asking how somebody's doing, could honestly save a life. You know?
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, on that sad, depressing note.
Yeah, we kind of took a downturn there.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 2 hours 50.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is another giant-sized episode. Giant-sized, goddamn it,
odd.
Balen.
Yeah, Giant has goddamn it, Balen.
But do you have anything that you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Unless you're trying to convince me to say something.
No, I'm not.
In which case, just come right out and say it.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Don't worry about it. But anyway, guys, that is it for this week. Hopefully next week Balen will be back. Hopefully he's feeling better. You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/precipicepodcast. Of course, there are our Twitter and Twitch links, twitch.tv/DorkyRae, one word, and twitter.com/Dorky_Rae. You can find me at twitch.tv/ToddEvf, twitter.com/ToddEvf. You can purchase shirts over at shop.spreadshirt.com/precipicepodcast. If you're listening to us on Radio Public, we greatly appreciate that. But of course, that isn't the only platform we're on. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on Google Play, we're on TuneIn, we're on Twitch, and we're also on YouTube. So, I didn't upload last week's episode onto YouTube.
Gas.
I kind of forgot. I got busy.
For shame.
Yeah.
Nah.
But anyway, thank you guys. You guys have been great. Sorry for the depressing end of the depressing last hour.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Yeah. But anyway, hopefully you guys have a great day, a great night, great evening, whatever time it is for you when you're listening to this. We greatly appreciate your support here at the Precipice Podcast Network. And for Rae, it's Todd here. You have a great time. Thanks for downloading. Catch you next time.